Alright, here we go. New animes coming out in 2020, 2021, and to be announced. So I found these posters, these promotional posters for new animes coming out, just floating around social media. So I decided to do a video where we go through all of them. There's almost 50 of them, and most of them I've never even seen or heard of before. So maybe I'll find something that interests me in watching. So we start off with World Trigger Season 2, which is to be announced. And I actually have read World Trigger and watched it. I've read the manga for this one since I discovered it, but it has been several years. This is a monthly manga, so it takes a long time for them to actually make a season of anime because one chapter only comes out once a month. And I actually do have a full review for the manga up to where the story is currently, and I will make that video when I get enough time. But the basic story is, when a gate to another world suddenly opens on Earth, Mikado City is invaded by strange creatures known as neighbors, malicious beings impervious to traditional weaponry. In response to their arrival, an organization called the Border Defense Agency has been established to combat the neighbor menace through special weapons called triggers. So this Border Defense Agency, they also have like a training school where they train agents. That's where the main character is. They're attending the training school to be agent, and so they deploy whenever there's an attack. So like there's those creatures that attack from another dimension. That's the basic story of this one. This is one of the few ones that I have heard of from these posters. So next, Other Side Picnic Season 1 to be announced. Her first encounter with Toriko Nishina was on the other side after seeing That Thing and nearly dying. Ever since that day, exhausted university student Sorawo Kimikoshi's life has changed in this other world full of mystery, which exists alongside our own. Dangerous beings like the Kune-kune, and the Hashaku-sama that are spoken of in real ghost stories appear. This one, I can't really gather anything from like the summary. You'd have to watch a few episodes to really see what it's like. But I mean, high school girls carrying around AK-47s and pistols and stuff. It's probably worth checking out. Next, Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. We have it looks like they have a whole cast of demons. They have like their castle. Second season, April 2021. So they already have a first season. 14-year-old Iruma Suzuki has been unfortunate all his life, having to work to earn money for his irresponsible parents, despite being underage. One day he finds out that his parents sold him to the demon Sullivan. However, Iruma's worries about what will become of him are soon relieved, for Sullivan merely wants a grandchild, pampering him and making him attend the demon school Babils. It sounds interesting. I'm more of an action type person, so I don't know if I'll check this one out. I will be checking out Waifu though. I'll probably be adding a lot of these animes to my list to search up waifu pics, hands down though. This redhead right here, she like has my attention. I'll definitely be looking out for pics of her. Our Last Crusade in the Rise of a New World to be announced. For years, a great war has raged on between the scientifically advanced empire and a paradise of witches known as the Nebulous Sovereignty. This age-old battle sets the scene for a fateful encounter between two young combatants, an imperial swordsman, Iska, and the witch princess, Alice Lice? Even I can't see it, it's kind of cut off there. Alice Lice? I'm gonna just say Alice. So I'm guessing he's on one side of the war and she's on the other side of the war. Probably like a love story in between them, like a forbidden love or something. That's what I'm guessing. Data Live Season 4 to be announced. I've actually watched Season 1, 2, and 3 of Data Live, and it's alright. I mean, I mainly watched it for my waifu Kurumi, but they don't give her enough screen time. Data Live. The story is about our harem lead, Shido, dating the many spirits that invade the earth. To save the people of the earth, it is up to him to date these spirit girls. So like, he has to like date them, and like, it's hard to explain. He like goes on a date with them. He gets on their good side, and then somehow that seals their powers in him, so that they're no longer a threat anymore. So that's basically what he does with the spirits. My Hero Academia Season 5, 2021, to be announced. Pretty much everybody knows the main story of My Hero Academia. There's not much to really say about this one. But still, 2021 is like over 6 months away. So that's a long wait. Bo Fury. I don't want to get hurt, so I will max out my defense. Second season to be announced. She may be new to gaming, but Maple has found the secret to invincibility. Just put all of your skill points into defense until you can't even move. That works, right? She doesn't want to experience any pain in the VR MMO game she started playing. And somehow it works better than anyone expected. Now she's got followers. It seems interesting. She puts all of her stat points into defense because she doesn't want to take damage. It's interesting. I'd probably check that one out. What can a character do when they have all defense? That's kind of like the shield hero, basically. Mars Red Season 1, 2021. Mars Red takes place in 1923, and vampires have existed for quite a while. But now, the number of vampires is increasing, and a mysterious artificial blood source called Askra has appeared. The Japanese government, in turn, creates Code Zero, a unit within the army tasked with taking down the vampiric forces. Interesting. I'm not really into like a series that takes place in the past. Anyways, let's see. Redo of Healer Season 1 to be announced. So like you have this there's like a yandere or slash psychic girl or psycho. I mean, like she's crazy. You have her over here with this crazy smile. She's like, eh. I mean, just from this girl being shown alone on the poster, I'm definitely gonna watch this, hands down, dude. Might even have a new favorite waifu, dude. Move over, Kurumi. I have a new psychic waifu. I'm a psycho. I have a new psycho waifu. Healing magicians cannot fight alone. Oh my gosh, how do you pronounce this? Kare? Kare or Kiare? Kiare? I want to say Kiare like Keanu Reeves. Kiare was bound to this common knowledge, was exploited again and again by others, but one day he noticed what may lay beyond healing magic. It was convinced that a healing magician was the strongest class. However, by the time he realized his full potential, he was deprived of everything. Thus, he used healing magic on the world itself to go back in time 4 years, deciding to redo everything. So this is like... Let me get some water. I don't know if you've ever read Chinese comics, but in Chinese comics, there's a lot of comics that follow the same storyline where the main character, they die, like basically the end of their lifespan, they die, and then they're reincarnated in another lifetime, but they retain all of their knowledge and everything from the previous lifetime, so they're like a child prodigy, and they're just like a genius at everything. So that's kind of like this. He's like going back in time to exploit knowledge that he didn't have in the situation that he needed to have that knowledge. So I'm definitely gonna watch this one. Winter Cherry Blossom Season 1, 2021. Ever since his parents passed away, Hei Bom has been living in Tae-sung's house, and now being a 12th grader, he enters the same class as Tae-sung, which makes the whole situation way more awkward. Living together 24/7, Tae-sung and Hei Bom's relationship is bound to change. This one, I don't know. It's not explained why the situation would be awkward. You'd have to watch it to understand it. But there's got to be something going on in between those two. Excuse me. That would make it interesting. There's got to be some kind of dynamic in between those two characters. We'll have to check it out. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Second season, January 2021. Lonely 37-year-old Mikami Satoru is stuck in a dead-end job, unhappy with his mundane life, but after dying at the hands of a robber, he awakens to a fresh start in a fantasy realm. As a slime monster. So this little slime here, like those little slimes from, what is that game? What's that game where the characters look like they're from Dragon Ball Z, but they're not? Chrono Trigger. I think it's Chrono Trigger? I think it's Chrono Trigger. That game with like the slimes, and like you like fight them, but you can also turn them into your pets, and you can like ride them too, like with the other creatures. I think that's what that game is called. What can a slime do? I'm mildly interested in that one. Cells at Work, Cold Black, Season 1, January 2021. This new take stars a fresh-faced red blood cell and his friend the buxom white blood cell as they struggle to keep themselves and their world together through alcoholism, smoking, erectile dysfunction, athlete's foot, gout, all kinds of nasty bodily ailments. But this one seems really, really interesting. 100% I'm gonna watch this one. There's this one and like another one that happened in like it's not like, how do I say it? It's like the same universe, but it's not the same universe. It's like different. It's the same premise, but it's like different. It's like a different cast, but it's the same story, basically the same premise. So like all these guys dressed in red, these are red blood cells inside of somebody's actual body, and then the white blood cells are fighting off like there's a monster up there, so that's probably like a germ or like an infection or something. It's really interesting. I've never seen an idea for an anime like this before. Like it's action, and it's an interesting premise I've never seen before. I'm definitely gonna watch this one. Ari Fureta, From the Commonplace to World's Strongest, Season 2 to be announced. So they already have a Season 1. We have maids. We have schoolgirls. I forgot, what do you call that outfit? I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, Hajime Nagumo and his high school class are suddenly summoned to a fantastical land as heroes. But while most of his classmates have powerful stats and abilities, Hajime does not. Underappreciated and underprepared, he tumbles into the depths of a monster-infested dungeon where ferocity and sacrifice are his only options. To thrive in this savage world, he'll have no choice but to welcome the abyss. So this is kind of like, it sounds similar to like Solo Leveling, which is, but this guy has a mechanical arm though. So it's like a fantasy world, but it's different. So it's basically like a different take on like a similar idea that's been done before. It might be worth checking out. Fate, Khaled, Linear, Prisma, Ilya. It's a very confusing name. I have no idea what it's about, judging by that name. Oh, this is a movie to be announced. The plot follows a teenager named Shirua Emiya, who becomes involved in the 5th Holy Grail War to protect his foster sister, Miyu Satsuki, from being used as a sacrifice by the Ainsworth clan. I haven't watched very much Fate stuff. The only thing I watched was Unlimited Blade Works. That movie. That's the only thing I watched. I think that was a movie. That's the only thing I watched from Fate. But Fate is like, I've like preemptively searched out pics like for the Fate series, and it's like they have like multiple timelines, multiple universes and stuff, or like multiple dimensions. And there's so many of them. It's really confusing. I'm not sure if I'll get into watching Fate. I mean, I'll definitely look for waifus, but for watching it, it just seems way too big and way too like complicated for me to understand. Like here we go. Here's another dimension, or like another timeline of Fate, or whatever you call it. Fate Grand Order Final Singularity, Final Singularity Grand Temple of Time Solomon. Like it's too much. There's too many timelines. There's too many singularities. There's too many dimensions. The anime will adapt the Fate Grand Order smartphone games, the Grand Temple of Time Solomon story, which is the final singularity in the game's first part. The final singularity of the game's first part. Like, there's so many parts. Like, I'm done. It's too confusing. There's too much Fate stuff that exists for me. I can't handle it all. B-Stars. This is like some, what do they call that? Zootopia Type B. Second season, 2021. The story takes place in a world of modern, civilized, anthropomorphic animals, with a cultural divide between the carnivores and the herbivores. A wolf with anxiety issues investigates a classmate's sudden murder. Which, I mean, like, is basically is like furry central. But, like, this wolf doesn't even look like a high schooler classmate. He would have to be, like, college class? That'd have to be like a college student, right? I mean, the only thing that really interests me about this is, like, what do the carnivores eat? Like, do they straight up eat other people? Or is there, like, other animals that are not human shaped? They don't walk on 2 feet. They're not sentient. They're not intelligent. Like, that's, like, the only thing that interests me for that one. Koi Tuyobu Niwa Kimochi Warui, Season 1, to be announced. A high-spec businessman who's loose with women and his high school sister's best friend, Arima Ichika. From there, he falls madly in love. On the one hand, he approaches her with almost too straightforward methods, while she responds simply disgusted, insulting him with hesitation, and he takes it as her way of showing love. This is a romantic comedy about a twisted elite employee and a normal otaku high school girl. If it's not action, it's not for me. That's just how it is. Well, not entirely. There are some stories, like Miss Kobayashi's Maid Dragon, that are not action. Actually, I should rescind that. But it's not like... If it's not action, and it's not like fantasy, then it's not for me. That's the correct thing to say. It has to be like more interesting, like something unique, something different. Nan Biore Non-Stop, Season 3, January 2021. Asahioka Branch High School, or not high school, Asahioka Branch School. A combined elementary and middle school in an isolated village has only 5 students total, 4 girls and 1 boy. The girls are best friends and pass the season with traditional activities like harvesting mountain herbs and fishing. So it's basically slice of life. Basically, like, wholesome slice of life. How not to summon a demon lord. Season 2, July 2021. So that's like next summer. That's like over a year away from right now. Takuma Sakamoto, a secluded gamer, is transported into the world of his favorite game, Cross Reverie, with the appearance of his own character in the game, the Demon Lord Diablo. So another transported to a game type of show. We'll see if it can separate itself from other ones like hardcore, or not hardcore, solo leveling and stuff like that. Bleach, 1,000 Years Blood War, to be announced. 1,000 Year Blood War arc kicks off in earnest when a rash of hollow murders and several disappearances in the Rukoganai district is revealed that the Quincy's were actually alive, and the Quincy, to jog your memory, are the order of reishi manipulating human mediums who murder hollows rather than purify them as Soul Society does. So Bleach, the final arc, Bleach was a pretty good series aside from the fillers, but the final arc was really messed up because the artist was sick. Like, he literally thought he was gonna die. Like, that's how sick he was. So he had to rush the ending. And then there's also rumors that people at Shonen Jump don't like him, and they also force him to rush the ending for their own reasons. Anyways, it's already confirmed that they're gonna change the ending of the anime, but I hope they flesh it out more, because the whole manga of Bleach, the last season, was supposed to have like a whole year added onto it. It's supposed to be a whole year longer. So hopefully they put everything, like they make the TV show actually what it's supposed to be originally. Normally it's the opposite, where the manga has details that get lost in the TV show. But like Dragon Ball Super, where the anime has more details than the manga, hopefully they make the last season of Bleach like that. This is their last chance to redeem Bleach. Their last chance to bring it justice. Haikyuu to the top. Second season to be announced. Junior high school student Shoyo Hinata becomes obsessed with volleyball after catching a glimpse of Karasuno High School winning their game to qualify for nationals on TV. Of short stature himself, Hinata is inspired by a player the commenters nickname the Little Giant. So it basically is sports, but sports never really interested me. So let me check out my soundtrack over here, because we are running pretty late. I didn't realize this video was going to be this long. What's going to be my next soundtrack? Or should I just cut it into pieces? I don't know. I don't know how many picks are left. Let me see here. Okay. Got our next 2 or 3 soundtracks lined up. So, next. When They Cry, to be announced. So this is like a murderer. She has a knife. She has blood splattered all over her face. A mature show steeped in mystery. Higurashi tells the story of a group of friends living in Hina Misawa. I tried to get it all in one go. First try, all in, no fear. Hina Misawa, a rural village held captive by a cruel, bloody legacy. Once an arc has ended, everything resets to a happier point in life, and we watch as a new tale of tragedy and paranoia unfolds. Oh, so it's like the time reset thing from freaking RE0, basically. That's interesting. It's kind of interesting to see how things play out differently, but at the same time it's kind of frustrating to know that the story is like in the same place again. Next. How a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. Season 1 to be announced. Summoned to another world to reportedly deal with the threat of the Demon Lord's domain, Kazuya instead finds himself with the throne of the kingdom. Oh, that's a pretty cool story. You just show up to help out and you'd be like, oh, what's that quote from that one place? I looked upon the throne of the gods and it was empty, and now you're just king. So I wonder what he does as a king. That's what's going to be interesting. And then Cells at Work, second season. So this is the original Cells at Work. So there's like a kind of like a spin-off, and then there's like this one, the original one. So since I see that this one has a second season, I'm going to have to go back and watch the first season then. After I finish watching RE0, I'm going to watch the first season of this. The second season is January 2021. So 7 months. The story follows life of cells in the human body every day. They struggle to remove and resist against pathogenic cells such as germs and bacteria from invading the body. The Quintessential Quintuplets. That's the only way I could pronounce it, is if I pronounce it as 2 separate words. Just cut it down the middle. The Quintessential Quintuplets. Second season, January 2021. The series follows the daily life of a high school student, Futaro Uesugi, who is hired as a private tutor for a group of quintuplets who perform poorly academically. So basically kind of like, I'm guessing kind of slice of life-ish? I have heard of this before, I just haven't watched it. SSSS Gridman. Season... They misprinted it. Sion? No, season... I don't even know if it would be season 1 or season 2. To be announced. A high school student suffering from memory loss discovers a digital being who gives him a mission to defeat giant monsters that terrorize his city. This one's probably on my watch list. I'm going to check this one out. And then Dr. Stone, Stone Wars, to be announced. I don't know if that's a season or if it's a movie, because it doesn't say. Like, the undertitle Stone Wars kind of makes it seem like it's a movie. Let's go to our next soundtrack. There we go. But yeah, kind of like the undertitle makes it sound like a movie. Anyways, in the modern world, every human on the planet was turned into stone after a mysterious flash of light. This anime tells the story of how some people from the pre-petrification world trying to rebuild civilization, the petrification age, the stone world. I've read some of Dr. Stone, but there wasn't, for my taste, there wasn't enough like really action in the series to like keep my attention. That's just personal preference. Oh, is that it? Is that all of, did we finally reach the end? Was that all like 40 picks? Let me double check. But basically, oh no, we're still going. For some reason it just wouldn't let me move. Oh, it's probably because I changed songs. Anyways, Isekai Quartet Season 3 to be announced. 4 different fantasy worlds collide when their inhabitants are transported into a shared dimension where they must attend school together, resulting in chaotic hijinks. So, this is the guy from RE0. That's the count, or the... He's the guy that owns the mansion from RE0. At least I think he is. It looks like strikingly similar to him. So, this... I think... I'm pretty sure that is the guy there. Maybe I should... Oh, no, never mind. I'll just assume that it is him. I mean, they are taking characters from different universes and putting them together, so... You get to see Rem in a high school setting? Dude, that'll be awesome. I would love to see that. And apparently it's a season 3, so there's already been 2 seasons where they had, like, massive crossovers. So I'll probably have to check out the previous 2 seasons and see what series were in there. Because it'll depend if it's a series that I actually watched and enjoyed before. Well, it depends on that. But I'll definitely watch season 3. If there's RE0 characters in there, I'll definitely watch it. Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2 2021 to be announced. They're going through the... what is it called? The Spirit Turtle arc. A man equipped with only a shield is chosen to be one of the world's greatest defenders. But when a cruel betrayal shatters his reputation, he tries to regain the public's trust while fighting evil alongside a few devoted allies. And this season's going to go through the Spirit Turtle arc, like I said. The Spirit Turtle arc is really what the Shield Hero needed. It needed like... it needed like... I'm not going to exactly spoil it, but... In the manga, it needed like an actual definitive villain, not just fighting monster waves over and over and over again. This arc actually gives the series a definitive villain for you to actually like give the story some direction, and that's good. Cheat pharmacist, slow life, making a drugstore in another world. So she's a cheater. She's a hacker, confirmed. But like, I don't know, what does she do? Does she use like? I wonder if she like went. Well, let's read it. Let's read it first. To be announced. One day, a corporate slave, Reiji, suddenly got transported to another world. He made the best of his skills to make better potions, which earned him lots of money. And with that money, made a drugstore. An elf who has trouble aiming with his bow. Give him some eye drops. A dragon who always lets breath of fire out unintentionally. Don't worry, we have cough medicine for you. Reiji's new, fun, slow life as a pharmacist in a village drugstore starts now. This one, it's basically slice of life, but it has the fantasy aspect to it too. So, I think I will watch this one. This one sounds similar to Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I think I'm gonna enjoy this one, even though it's not action. So it's on my list. But like, I want to see where does the cheat come from? Like, how is he a cheating pharmacist? Well, we'll see. World's End harem. You know it's gonna be good if it's a harem. Season 1, 2021. The Man Killer Virus, a lethal disease that has eradicated 99.9% of the world's male population. Mizuhara Reito has been in a cryogenic sleep for the past 5 years. When Reito awakens from the deep freeze, he emerges into a sex-crazed new world. That's like everybody's, like, that would be the most terrible worst-case scenario for society, humanity, the world in general. But yet that would still be like every guy's fantasy. Like, the whole society collapses. There's like, dude, women will probably go to war over men. Like, they'll be fighting to the death. Men will become like, it's not just like it's probably not straight up like a harem. It's more so like men are like slaves. Like, you're sheerly outnumbered. It's not just gonna be like individual women acting on their own desires to win you over, or like have you to themselves. I guarantee you it's gonna be groups of women in like different factions, different gangs. You're gonna be outnumbered, and they're gonna try to capture you, and basically men are gonna be like slaves. That's what my prediction is. But we'll see. I'll watch it when it comes out. Hige o Soru, Soshite Joshi Kose o Hiro. Season 1 to be announced. Yoshida has a crush on a coworker. He finally confesses to her but gets rejected. Drunk and disappointed, he stumbles home, only to find a high school girl sitting on the side of the road. The girl, needing a place to stay for the night, attempts to seduce Yoshida. Despite rejecting her advances, he nevertheless invites her into his apartment. This guy's going to jail, basically. He's going for an underage girl, so he's going to jail. I mean, it kind of needs a little bit more context to know what's going on. It's worth checking out, though. But I bet you this guy's going to jail. Hands down. I have been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. Season 1 to be announced. After living a painful life as an office worker, Azusa ended her short life by dying from overworking. So when she found herself reincarnated as an undying, unaging witch in a new world, she vows to spend her days stress-free and as pleasantly as possible. She ekes out a living by hunting down the easiest targets, the slimes. But after centuries of doing this simple job, she ended up with insane powers. How will she maintain her low-key life now? What is the obsession with slimes? Like, this is the second one I read where there's slimes. Like, what the heck? That's season 1? I think the other series I looked at, I think, was also season 1. What are the odds of that? 2 slime animes. Made in the Abyss. Second season to be announced. The Abyss, a hole of unprecedented depth. One young girl and a robot brave its dangers to find the truth. This one, like, the description is so simple, but the story itself seems so interesting. Like, I want to see what they discover going in the freaking abyss. So, I mean, like, there could be any number of things of why it exists, but it'll be interesting to see it. So, I'll put that on my watch list. Attack on Titan, final season. Eren passes the reverse card, so we go like the original Attack on Titan. The Titan is attacking over the walls. That meme where Eren passed that reverse card. Now it's his turn to attack over the walls. Like, bitch, it's your turn. You gonna get wrecked. Nope, I don't want to skip. Eren, with the help of Armin and Mikasa Ackerman, will look to regain their lost glory to save the face of humanity. After waging a battle with the Titans, they would establish dominance of their own. Yuru Camp, second season, January 2021. Nare Shiko, A high school student decides to see Mount Fuji on a bike. Unable to set her eyes on her goal, she faints partway to her destination. When she wakes up, it's night, in a place she's never been before, with no way of knowing how to get home. Huh. Interesting. That does sound interesting. I wanna see that story. I wanna find out what happens. Wait, this is second season, so I could watch the first season. Nice. Seven Deadly Sins Season 5, October 2020. So that's just a few months away. It is now confirmed this final season of number 5 will be named as the Seven Deadly Sins, Anger's Judgment, and will be released later this year, around October. The title, speaking for itself, reveals that it is going to be a much more intense season than it's expected. So like Seven Deadly Sins is basically having the same treatment as like Bleach, where the ending is rushed for some external reason, and people are saying the ending is terrible. So that's unfortunate. The Promised Neverland, second season, January 2021. Anime follows 3 protagonists, Emma, Norman, and Ray, along with other orphans who live together. Their lives have been full of joy. That is until the protagonists learn the horrifying truth about the orphanage. Ooh, I want to see this. I want to see this. They already have the season 1 out. I'm going to have to see that. I'm going to have to watch that. Damn. I have so much stuff to watch now. Oh, my life is gone. This is the day Anubis died. Data Bullet, Season 1 to be announced. The amnesiac young girl Empty, who woke up in a neighboring world, encounters Tosaki Kurumi. Led by her, the place she arrived at was the school's classroom. In order to kill each other, the girls known as semi-spirits gathered. Now then, let's begin our battle, or our date. So, it's like a spin-off that has Kurumi in it. And I hope, I'm going to watch this for sure, but they better give Kurumi more screen time in this one. Like, they better. If not, I'm going to just quit in the middle of the season. Just be like, nope. I'm going to just stick to my waifu pics of Kurumi, and that's it. Zombieland Saga Revenge to be announced. In the year 2008, a high school girl, Sakura Minamoto, is abruptly killed in a traffic accident. 10 years later, Sakura, along with other girls from various eras, are brought back as zombies by a man named Kotaro Tatsume, who seeks to save the Saga Prefecture by putting together an all-zombie idol group. That sounds weird. I don't know what to think about that one. Zombie idols. Dragon goes house hunting. Like this one, they literally stole the freaking main picture from Attack on Titan. How it has the Titan attacking over the walls and like the flames and shit, like the town being destroyed. Except they put a dragon over the castle. Like they literally ripped that off from Attack on Titan. Season 1 to be announced. When a dragon fails to live up to the fearsome standards set for him, his family kicks him out. He embarks on a quest. He embarks on a quest to find a new home, but soon finds that life on the road is no place for a cowardly beast of legend. In a fantasy world full of elves, dwarves, and other mythical creatures, where everyone wants a piece of him, literally, the frustrations of house hunting reach a whole new level. So like this one, it's strikingly similar to Kobayashi's Maid Dragon, or Dragon Maid. I think I'm gonna watch this one. It's like fantasy slice of life. I'll add this to my watch list, definitely. Oh, Love Live. Is that a J or an I? I believe. Oh, yeah, that's a J. Love Live Nijigasaki High School Idol Club, Season 1 to be announced. So, Nijigasaki High School is located in Odaiba, Tokyo. The school is popular due to its free school style and diverse majors. The school centers on the members of a school idol club in Nijigasaki and their attempt to prevent the club from being abolished. So another Love Live series. I don't know if it's... I think that's Maki over there. And I think that's the Nico girl, maybe? And this one looks like Yui. Or Yu. I think some of them are from the other series. I don't know all the Love Live girls. I only know like a handful of them. The Hidden Dungeon City Only I Can Enter. Season 1 to be announced. Nor is the son of a minor noble with very little to his name other than a job offer, which is cancelled before he can even start his first day. He does possess one rare trait though, the magical ability to consult with a great sage, even if using the skill gives him terrible headaches. Unsure of what his future holds, he accesses the sage for advice on how to move forward and is directed to a secret dungeon filled with rare beasts and magical items. That's a pretty interesting premise, where you can get advice from a sage. It's interesting. I'll probably check it out. She professed herself with the pupil of the wise man. Season 1 to be announced. Kagami plays an online game called Arc Earth Online. One day he purchases an appearance change item as a last resort to spend expiring currency, and gets the idea of choosing what he would want to look like if his character was ever a girl. Falling asleep should have suspended the game, but Kagami wakes up still online and feels the game has gotten a bit more realistic. Did Arc Earth Online finally get a long-awaited update? So this is basically like Overlord. The game was... It sounds like... It doesn't say the game was going to end, but it said like currency was going to expire. So it's kind of like Fortnite or Apex, how they have different seasons, like your stats and like your experience and your badges, your medals, everything resets when you go to a different season. So like he was trying to spend his money before the end of the season. A new season came and he got trapped in the game, and it becomes Overlord basically. Just like a different take on it. Now are we at the end now? Let me see. I believe we are at the end. Let me check the actual folder itself. Yep, that's the end. That's the last picture. Damn, how many series is that? Like, jeez. 44. We just reviewed the posters for 44 new anime seasons. Like, damn, that was a fucking lot. How long is this video? This video is so much longer than I thought it was gonna be. Oh my gosh, 43 minutes. But I think it was worth making because I saw these posters on social media, and so I looked on YouTube. I looked at new animes for 2020, 2021, because I saw these only like yesterday or the day before, and nobody had made any videos on these. I made sure to check it for the previous week of uploads only, and nobody did it. So I did something that nobody has really done yet. So I don't care if the video is 40 minutes long. It was worth it. Has anybody else done an in-depth like review / reaction to all of these? Like, damn. And there's so many of these added onto my watch list now. I'll delete the pictures from the ones that don't interest me, and then I'll keep the ones that do interest me, so I have a reminder to check them out. And hopefully I don't lose my life watching anime. But based off of all of these that I just read through, feel free to let me know which ones of these caught your eye or piqued your interest, because I know which ones caught mine. Yeah, and tell me about what was that? Tell me about the ones that already have a season 1 that I thought were good. Are they actually good? Like, is their first season good? Is it worth watching? Just let me know. Anyways, God, that was long. Peace out.